Hi guys. Hello from Imsouane, Morocco. Or Salam. My setting right now, no joke, is 1000% main character energy. For all my podcast listeners, let me just paint the picture for you. I'm on top of this dramatic cliff, and just below is the Imsouane Bay, which is world famous for its surf break. It's perfect peeling waves. So perfect that when I look at it, it looks machine operated. Super gentle, super clean, super perfect. So much so that hubby and I traveled 20 plus hours to get here. For my YouTube people, thank you for your patience while I describe the setting. But wouldn't you say this setting is worth describing in detail? I mean, so much of Morocco is a feast for the eyes.
Now, joining me for this very special episode out of Morocco is my favorite human. Come here, they can't see you. Hubby Leif.
We're going to be going through some of our faves, not so faves about Morocco. I know that a lot of you out there feel a little intimidated about traveling to Africa or a Muslim country. In my opinion, that might be, I don't know, some Western narrative that's been seeped in there. And it's pretty safe. Like, I've been to Kenya, South Africa, Morocco. This is my third time in Africa, and all my experiences have been nothing short of magical. Okay, without further ado, we're gonna go through some of the highlights.
But wait, it's only fair that we do this wrap-up highlights list at the very tail end of our trip, which would explain why we're at the airport looking very fabulous after just 3-4 hours of sleep. Our flight was at 4 a.m. Anywho, that's besides the point. So we're gonna do this list in no particular order of our faves and not so faves, starting with
Goats on a tree. You guys, when I first saw pictures of goats standing 20 to 30 feet off ground, teeter-tottering on the skinniest of branches, I thought for a second, am I looking at a Christmas tree with goat ornaments? Or is this some AI shenanigans? So listen to my complete shock and jubilation when Leif and I randomly spot some goats on a tree on the side of the freeway. Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening and I'm witnessing it in person. One of the biggest things I wanted to see with my own eyes in Morocco are goats on trees. And look, goats on trees! Now, I almost got my ass kicked approaching the goats because, well, the goat herder wanted some money. He was like, "You're taking photos. This is a business." Minor issue, we were so short on cash. I offered him some change and he literally spat on the ground. We did have a little more cash, but just enough to cover the bribe money.
which leads us to our first not so fave.
Having to pay bribes.
There are speed traps all throughout Morocco, and if you get pulled over, the easiest and perhaps the quickest way to handle it is to hand the officer 20, 30 bucks and be on your way.
Another one of my faves is just their overall connection here in Morocco to their original food source. What I mean by that,
When people want meat, they go to the butcher. Or we even saw a place that slaughters the chicken the minute you buy it. Sure, it's gory. But when food isn't industrialized and you actually see where it comes from, you are A, less likely to waste because you see with your own damn eyes that an animal lost its life to feed you. And B, there are no preservatives or triple plastic wrapping of anything because the food doesn't need to travel to a grocery store where it can sit on a shelf for who knows however long. So I just love that Moroccans are so deeply connected to fresh food.
one of our not so faves is
Stray animals, mostly cats, a few dogs, and just tons of flies.
flies galore.
We were in Morocco for 12 days, and I'd say 95% of our meals ended with a cat jumping on our lap or table. Yes, cats are considered holy animals in Islam, hence them being everywhere. As for the swarms of flies, well, you know that they can carry disease. You know that they like to land on your food. So definitely pack Cipro or other stomach meds when traveling to Morocco. Full disclosure, Leif got food poisoning and went down hard for 2 days. I had much milder symptoms, but symptoms nonetheless.
A personal fave of mine is that I have been dry for the last 2 years, and there's no drinking culture in Morocco because it's a Muslim country. So I kind of love that. So there's just gorgeous, beautiful juices everywhere, mocktails. They don't obviously even call it mocktails because to them, this is just a delicious drink that doesn't have any alcohol. And so I really celebrate the fact that I just didn't feel like an outcast. No one else was drinking, so I felt just like, you know, so I felt like I just fit right in.
Now, my drinking friends, just relax, okay? Many restaurants do have wine and other alcohol choices, but you just simply have to ask. It's often not even on the menus. But going back to the juices and smoothies, you guys, at most places, they're only $2. I had this one huge smoothie packed with avocados, cashews, dates, bananas, etc. It was totally Erewhon caliber, yet it was just $2, not 25.
Another not so favorite are the scooters. We loved shopping at the souk, minus the scooters whizzing around everywhere. You could get hit by one of these scooters at any moment. And overall, just like generally speaking, aggressive driving.
Yep.
Yeah. And you're dealing with like donkeys, horses, bikes, scooters. It's just chaos.
The scooters whizzing in and out of pedestrian areas in Marrakesh really impact the quality of the air as well. So I'll be honest, when I saw people walking around with masks on, I was a little envious.
And a favorite, Moroccan mint tea and how they serve it. Babe, how high do you think they pour from?
Probably head high, like over their head, down to the table.
And so precise still. Like not a droplet anywhere. I tried it, hot mess. And another favorite, I want you to listen up real closely for this one because I think generally speaking, Morocco or Africa as a continent in general gets a bad rap. So this highlight is very important. We felt so safe. And the service?
It's incredible. Yep.
Yeah.
Great hospitality, very warm and just like high quality.
Yeah. They really go above and beyond. But in the same breath of the topic of hospitality, we must discuss negotiating. That is not a not so fave. How did you feel when you went to the market and you tried to buy anything?
Yeah, it's just endless negotiation. You never know where they're starting, and it's just, it's going to take a couple minutes back and forth, and it doesn't feel right. But once you break through and agree on a price, it's no hard feelings. They move on. They give you great service. They're very kind. But up until that point, it's just back.
Up until that point, it goes like this. It goes, oh, I give you good price. And then you mention a price, and they're like, oh. And then you try to walk away because you're like, oh, if that price is no good, that's fine. I'll just find the next place. And then they say, what is a good price for you? No, madam, what is a good price for you? And then they will follow you for blocks to strike a deal. So that's a little exhausting.
I ended up buying a really cool wooden African ceremony mask. Originally, the seller asked for $200. I ended up getting it for $40. I also got these custom-made silver platform sandals. I've always wanted platform Birkenstocks, only the brand doesn't make them. So it was pretty awesome to have a cobbler in the town of Taghazout make them for, holy cow, $40. And I had to buy a rug when in Morocco, right? I got this beautiful 8-foot by 6-foot rug for about $350. I love all the feminine colors, the pinks, the turquoise, the purples, and the cool diamond shapes. And the seller, well, he didn't haggle me at all for the good price. And I know it's a good price because trust when we tell you that we looked around. I'm happy to share his contact, so hit me up in show notes or comments if you're looking for some beautiful Moroccan rugs. You can go to his store in person in Marrakesh, or he can ship it to you.
Another favorite of mine on this trip is nothing really to do with Morocco, but kind of. I landed 2 auditions during this trip, and one of them is like a really big role. A series regular. I had the hottest opposite read for my audition, so everyone, fingers, eyeballs, and toes crossed that I book it. And last but not least, the best fave on this list, in my opinion, is
Incredible surf. Yeah.
world-class surfing, you guys. I'm talking, I don't like to compare, but Imsouane is really special.
True story. On our last day in Imsouane Bay, I cried. I don't know. I just really don't know if I'll ever come across such magical waves again. I'm talking you could catch a wave and ride it for like 2 minutes. It stays open for that long. Just to give the non-surfers out there some context, at Venice Beach, on a good day, the longest ride is probably 15 seconds. Imsouane also has a punchier sand break called Cathedral. It's super fun, but let's be honest, I didn't travel all that way for a short sand break, you know what I mean? So I only surfed Imsouane Bay. Keep in mind, there's not much to do in Imsouane other than surfing. So if your goal is to surf, but also be in a town that's a little bit more lively, Taghazout is a good option. Lots of good breaks there. None of them as clean or consistent as Imsouane Bay, in my opinion, but definitely good waves and more breaks to choose from.
Okay, bucket list Morocco, check. Thank you so much to you guys for listening or watching. Thanks to my incredible husband for planning this trip.
You're welcome.
Super easy, right?
Of course.
It was to mark our 11th elopement anniversary. Hey, do me a favor. You can gift us an anniversary gift by commenting, liking, and subscribing to the podcast and liking this episode. And I could just go on forever, but I'm super sleep deprived, so I'm going to go. And we have a layover here in Paris, so au revoir.